So Nip was like, before he passed, he said on Twitter, "Thank God for having strong enemies." That was literally the last post he made before some shit happened, some fucked up shit happened to him. I mean, hot Cheetos. So this shit hot, man. This bitch. It was hot. So I'm gonna just tell y'all some shit I've been going through without here in Charleston, South Carolina. I had people trying to aggravate me. Like, ask me the same question over and over again. And I'm just like, man, are you niggas dumb? Like, I'm saying this shit. I'm just outright saying this shit. Like, you fucking dumb. And then I thought to myself, you must be getting paid to do this shit. That's what it is. Motherfucker getting paid to fuck with me. So, motherfucker keep asking the same question over and over again. Trying to get me aggravated, irritated, and to make me look unstable. I don't know if you've been going through this, if you're watching this video. But I seen something where there's a such thing as targeted individuals. Meaning that you have been targeted by a community of people and they fuck with you. You know? They do a little bullshit. It's like small, tedious shit. And what it does is supposed to just make you, the intention is on killing yourself or committing homicide. Because it's like a trap. It's like basically getting you to destroy yourself. But I'm a strong-minded individual. So from the research I discovered, if you don't do that, then they take matters upon their own hands. That's the prize. I'm gonna read y'all some research that I discovered. 1 second. A few seconds, whatever. Okay. So, I'm going to read to you guys what type of things that could be happening because I feel like my electronics were compromised. And you can, remember Eric Snowden and how he talked about the surveillance of your electronic devices, and that's why he done spilt the beans and dipped, and now they want him locked up and all that shit, was because he told the truth about what the government was doing and what local people have access to. So listen up. Surveillance abuse, which is a method to monitor activity of an individual which violates social norms or laws of society. COINTELPRO, which is still today, and Love in It, or it's Love INT. You can look that up. Refers to the practice of Secret Service employees using their extensive monitoring capabilities to spy on their love interest or spouse. It's also called cyber stalking, gang stalking, PRISM. You can look these terms up and definitions. This is shit that's happening to people for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them. This is some Some hating ass shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's just some hating ass shit. It is the practice of intelligent service employees making use of their extensive monitoring capabilities to spy on their love interest or spouse. Cyber stalking is a criminal offense punishable up to 10 years in South Carolina and Georgia. The PRISM program is a massive surveillance program operated by the NSA, which utilizes extensive data mining efforts to collect information and analyze that data for patterns of terrorist or other potential criminal activity. So recently, I don't know if you heard this, but they were trying to make conspiracy theorists now considered terrorists. And then, as you would think and know before this, you heard about the black identity extremists, which were basically just trying to criminalize and have black people be terrorists just for simply wanting to be black and pro-black, basically. So you guys to know the PRISM program was implemented on certain individuals. And some of this shit was probably without your knowledge. These programs are used in congruence to create black terrorists out of innocent people or to influence suicide or homicide. The U.S. Freedom Act refocuses law enforcement attention on stopping actual terrorist threats, not snooping on innocent Americans due to the Patriot Act. So this is why the U.S. Freedom Act was enacted, because of the Patriot Act being fucked up. Here's some cases. The Supreme Court, Smith versus Maryland, California Bankers Association versus Schultz, Katz versus U.S., U.S. versus White 401 U.S., the NAACP versus Alabama, and Brandsburg versus Hayes. And basically, my Fourth Amendment rights were violated. If you go to New Breed, Till the Word is Over, he's another channel where he speaks on gang stalking, and he talks very extensively about these type of things and activities that these people do. So this was just confirmation, because like I said, I'm not the only individual that that this has happened to, you know. And he would like to refer to us, instead of targeted individuals, which are TIs, he would refer to us as empowered individuals, which we are, because God definitely put a calling on us to be able to tackle these type of situations and fight through these situations through organized cyber stalking and gang stalking. Project MK Ultra, or a CIA mind control program, and y'all heard of this, was designed, and some which were illegal were experiments on human subjects. The project was organized through the Office of Scientific Intelligence, coordinated with the U.S. Army and Biological Warfare Laboratories. See Project Bluebird and Project Artichoke. Then now here's where the shit gets deeper, because we have, I would like to say, telepathic abilities, you know, or, you know, we have spirit guides where you can, if you really eat correctly, don't eat no hot Cheetos like I just did, okay? Because I done already tapped in. I just feel like, hey, I want some hot Cheetos. But besides the point, when you eat correctly and you drink water and you do all these things and you meditate, you can hear voices. Hear me clear. You can hear voices. There's certain shit that you can do to where you can channel some shit, and then you can kind of make out what it's saying, but also use your own logic and your own intuition, and also put it to the test if you can hear the voices very clearly. And if you believe that these are voices, test it and then see what happens. But only if it's a good thing. It might be some bad shit. Now listen to this. DARPA, or Mind Prism, targets the thoughts of millions of Americans. Targets the thoughts of millions of Americans, meaning that you're thinking that you're having a personal thought that's yours, but it's not. It's been influenced. Another part of this is movies. On the side note, if you notice, a lot of people quote movies and shit, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to certain situations, that's what kind of make you predictable about what you might be thinking about. So some people might feel like they're living in a movie and would act upon things as if they were in a movie, which makes them predictable. These technologies, such as DARPA and Mind Prism, look it up, infiltrate the mind by studying wave patterns brought on by triggers to predict thoughts based on the history of surveillance. So now that you're being watched and studied, they turn around and basically, through technologies, we know that the government contains technologies that are hidden from the public because they're using these as experiments. And you have to know that when Nazi Germany was around and they did these experiments with Hitler, these experiments didn't get burned and put in the trash. They collected the data and probably continued to follow up with it and continue to experiment. And so when you see people, that's why you can't call people crazy. You gotta stop doing that shit, because the tinfoil hat people were trying to combat that shit. They had already information about this type of shit. And what the people, the conspiracy theorists or whatever you want to call them, they looked crazy wearing these tinfoil hats, right? But that was only because they was trying to block or figure out a way to block the technology that could be infiltrating their thoughts and their minds. So you have spirit guides on one end, and then you have technology on the other end. So you have to really, like I said, eat right, eat correctly, meditate, pray, read, get off your phone, do certain things that's going to combat these type of attacks, because there are silent wars. You need to get the book Behold a Pale Horse, and it speaks on silent warfare where you are under attack and you do not even know. Let's see here. There was a top, I wrote down a top secret. It's called SI/ORCON/NOFORN/DNI.gov. When you go to page 4, section 4, 1 subsection 5, it tells you about wave patterns that are being picked up by satellite signals. And this is where we talk about 5G. We talk about 5G and why it's so bad, because of the technology is also being used to infiltrate our minds with this type of stuff. So I came up with a conclusion to all of this, because if you want to know why there's mass shooters, it's because of them. I personally believe is them being targeted. So you got black people that get targeted, and then you got white people that get targeted. Thus, white people have a flag for this. Me personally, I believe this is where "Don't Tread on Me" comes from. It comes from them having knowledge of this technology and stating to not tread on them or they will shoot this shit up. And there has just been mass shootings after mass shootings conducted by white individuals. When it comes to black people, we don't become mass shooters. We more so shoot the club up, shoot your house up, shoot your block up. And that's because you did something. But when you're a targeted individual, you think that everybody is in on it. You think that everybody's against you. So then what you do, you go shoot everybody. They can't handle that type of shit. And this is what happens. In conclusion, I said that the goal of these programs are to justify that blacks can be mass shooters and racist, so that they can justify their wickedness that includes the slaughter, organ harvest, seen and unseen targeting to destroy black civilization, the black intellect, the black character, and to blend in with Western civilization in order to prove that we look just as worthless as they do. And, And just to let y'all know, we are way greater. You got to know, us as a people, we are way greater than what they try to ever put on us. We rise above so many different situations because we are so strong as a people. But I just want people to know that we are under attack mentally, so that now we can, like, the goal of white supremacy, and I'm gonna say this slowly. The goal of white supremacy is to recreate the white supremacists in the black body. That is the goal, because one day they are not going to exist on this planet, and their goal is to be able to kill you even after the grave.